Bulletcast for life.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. The Podfather is back. We are about the number, 27th sports recreational podcast. Yet again, we are the only sports recreational podcast that is simply just too sweet. Coming to you on a Tuesday about an hour and 22 minutes after Smackdown Live has gone off the air. Like I said, I'm the Podfather, and I am once again the reigning, defending Bulletcast champion. Just like Adam Cole, baby, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, this title reign is hashtag forever undisputed, and I'm a three-time Bulletcast champion. I'm just like my boy Steph Curry. I only do it in threes. I have on the line a former Bulletcast champion, a former three-time Bulletcast champion. He is a man who gets his rematch this week coming up for Ring of Honor Final Battle on Friday. He hates you for from Toronto, Saskatchewan, Vancouver, the Canadian Destroyer, Brandon. How's it going, man?
It's going great. Once again, switching things up, doing it on a Tuesday. But it's fun.
On a Tuesday.
My raw, unedited opinions after SmackDown.
Oh, of course. Absolutely, that's what we're doing. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, episode 98. We are 2 weeks away from the 100th episode of the Bulletcast. That'll be the Bulletcast Awards. In fact, Sunday night, I did my Black Power Ranking Awards. Go listen to that. It's on YouTube, and the audio version is up as well. It was very nice, man. You know, Velveteen Dream got Black Male Wrestler of the Year. You know, who else got one? Bianca Belair became the Black Women's Wrestler of the Year because she's undefeated.
Good for them. I don't know all the Black wrestlers off the top of my head, but they sound deserving. Shout out to NXT.
Yes. Titus O'Neil was nominated for his slide at the Greatest Royal Rumble, but unfortunately he did not win. Alright, let's get it started. So Big Cass has a seizure at a House of Hardcore show this past weekend. A video surfaced of him on the floor, you know, of course shaking or whatever. And Tommy Dreamer, after they've taken Big Cass to the hospital, he's telling the fans, you know, say a prayer for Big Cass. Enzo Amore, he's gone on social media and he said he's praying for his homie. And he said if he had a dime for every time these guys got knocked down and then got right back up, he'd have 0 dimes. So, you know, apparently there's a lot of love going out there for Big Cass during this tough time.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar to what happened with Roman Reigns. Obviously, we might have differences of opinion of how good he is or how he is as a performer, but as a person, as a man, obviously you never want to see somebody have seizures like that. My friend's brother suffers from seizures occasionally, and it's a scary thing, you know, just comes out of nowhere, and you don't know how bad it can be, and hopefully, you know, either he knows that this can happen and he's figured out how to fix it, or now that this has happened, he can go to the doctor and try to, you know, stop this from happening. So, scary situation. Luckily, it's kind of the Jerry Lawler situation. Maybe it's a good thing that this happened out in public, because who knows how bad it could have been if he was all by himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Seizures are a terrible thing. My mother suffers from them, and I actually saw her have one when I was 10 years old, and it was one of the scariest things I've ever witnessed in my life. But Big Cass, I truly do hope you are recovering well. Hope you get better soon so you can get back in the ring. Alright, so Mandy Rose, God's greatest gift, Mandy Rose, and Naomi have had a little bit of a Twitter war, and Naomi called Mandy Rose a bootleg Eva Marie. Thoughts on this?
I think it's just two people going back and forth having fun on Twitter. I don't know the relationship between Mandy Rose and Naomi, if that's a shoot comment, if they're really angry at each other, but I think it's all fun and games, and that's kind of the fun of Twitter. And I know we've had this discussion on and off the air, and I think wrestlers need to use social media so much more smartly, and I think this is kind of a way to do it better. Maybe just going in, you know, trying to get yourself over, calling people bootleg Eva Marie's maybe isn't the best way to do it, but I'm all for heels and baby faces going back and forth on Twitter.
Is Mandy Rose a bootleg Eva Marie?
No, I think she's better in the ring, which isn't exactly saying all that much, but besides that, they're pretty similar. They have the look in terms of, you know, beautiful women. They're not the best on the mic, but in the ring, I would say Mandy Rose is maybe a little bit better, but that's just because Eva Marie is honestly maybe one of the worst wrestlers to ever be in the WWE, so that's not high praise going to Mandy Rose. But
there have been worse in the ring besides Eva Marie. All right? Eva Marie, honest to God, I kind of do miss Eva Marie. She had that whole voiceover entrance. She's the most ravishing, most whatever it said. Like I kind of do miss that, and she was getting some heat for it. I think it was gonna get over. I really do.
Well, it was getting over because she wasn't wrestling. That was the gimmick. Is she comes out and she just doesn't wrestle. Which, to be honest, I mean, that's once she looks fine. She looks the part, but then when it actually comes to performing and get in the ring, that's when the whole thing goes downhill.
I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like Eva Marie would have been the SmackDown Live Women's Champion.
I mean, Carmella's been SmackDown Champion, so why not Eva Marie?
I mean, but Carmella, money is Mella. Like, Mella is money. That's understandable why she won the title. All right, moving on. I believe Ric Flair was on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast, and he said he has been cleared to take bumps again. What are your thoughts on old Nate taking a bump or two again?
I don't know what taking clear to take a bump means. Does that mean his back is better, his hip or his neck? I don't know exactly what that entails of how he could be cleared to do a bump. Obviously, Jerry Lawler is wrestling into his 60s. He's had a heart attack and yet he still wrestles, but Jerry Lawler he gets by doing the least amount, but getting the most out of all that. And Ric Flair, obviously, he's not going to go out there and wrestle like Flair from the 70s, but I don't want to see Ric Flair wrestle a match. And he's not going to wrestle a match in WWE just because of what happened with Jerry Lawler, but God, I hope he doesn't go out on the indie scene and try to make a quick buck or two and try to wrestle somebody. I don't think promoters are that stupid. Just get Ric Flair and do some autograph signings. Don't put him in the ring. But there's somebody out there that's willing to pay enough money to have him do something.
Hey, Joey Ryan.
Joey Ryan did send something out on Twitter that he wants a match against Flair. So who knows?
Yeah, Joey Ryan said he'd do it for free. No, but I don't think Ric Flair is wrestling, having a match. I think it's just he accidentally gets knocked down, a bump like that. I don't believe it's him having a full-fledged match. I don't think it's anything like that. But
Hulk Hogan's been wanting a match for 10 years now, and that shouldn't happen either.
Yeah, well, Hulk Hogan has done some things where he doesn't deserve that kind of payday. All right, moving on from that. So, reportedly, WWE is interested in a Queen of the Ring tournament. Of course, just like King of the Ring, there'd be a scepter and a crown and all that other stuff, a tiara, whatever you want to call it. What are your thoughts on WWE possibly doing a Queen of the Ring tournament?
Being a sports person, I'm more inclined for tournaments, and I think if booked properly, it can work out very well. I don't know exactly how they would frame it. I don't think you can do the old style where everything happened in one day. I think if you have preliminary matches on Raw and SmackDown, and then you have the final 4, maybe the final 8 wrestle on a pay-per-view, and maybe since they do Queen of the Ring, maybe this is another all-women's pay-per-view, so you have the semifinals and the finals on that show, but then you could also have other women's matches on that show as well. I'm not opposed to it if this means having another all-women's pay-per-view and kind of, not to sound crass or anything, but by saving the men and having less exposure for them and getting more women on the shows and, not diluting the product as much, but having, kind of not overdoing it with all the wrestlers being on all the shows.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of tournaments. I'm an amateur wrestler. I'm a wrestling coach. I'm at tournaments all the time now. Again, I'm a fan of tournaments. What if it was a round robin and everybody had to wrestle everybody?
Well, they've done that with Mixed Match Challenge, and I'm not saying it's Mixed Match Challenge fault, but it seems like everybody on that show has gotten injured.
True. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And so we have Alexa Bliss, we have Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, Charlotte. I mean, how many times have people been pulled off the show? I know most of Charlotte and AJ was storyline reasons, but still, there's just been so much turnover on that. I don't even know if there is a team that was originally scheduled that is still there, except for Miz and Asuka.
No, they didn't make it to the finals.
R-Truth and Carmella are in the finals.
Yeah, they are.
I don't even know what's going on. I don't watch Mixed Match Challenge, but I know they made it to the semifinals.
Hey, man, we're going to get into that when we talk TLC previews. Yeah, but I'd love to see Queen of the Ring. make the finals at Evolution if they do it again next year, or its own pay-per-view, like you said. I'm in for that. All right, my boy Phillip Brooks, CM Punk. He is still going on with Colt Cabana in this lawsuit. Colt Cabana suing CM Punk because he said Punk said he would cover Cabana's legal fees when they went into this WWE lawsuit against Dr. Armand, and then Punk kind of backed out of it like you're on your own. And so Colt Cabana filed a lawsuit. It was dismissed. It was thrown out. And then he filed a second lawsuit for breach of agreement or something. So that's going on right now. What are your thoughts on the whole Cabana versus Punk lawsuit?
To be honest, I wasn't really keeping up with all that, so I didn't even know that his original lawsuit got tossed out. But now that he has another lawsuit, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know what if there is like writing that says I'm not a lawyer, so I don't exactly know, but I know that first lawsuit that happened, people were saying like this has like no bearing in court, but maybe bringing up another one. But then I don't understand how it kind of sounds like the same thing. He's suing him because he said he was going to pay him money, but then he didn't pay him money. So then what's the difference? I don't know exactly what the difference in wording is between him suing for whatever losses or whatever compared to breach of agreement if there's no clear-cut evidence of him. Well, like if there's nothing in writing, I don't know how Cabana could win this.
Apparently, like Punk sent him a text and said you're covered or something. So if he still has that text, then he's fine. If he deletes his messages, like I know a lot of people do, then he's screwed. It's just that simple, you know?
But I'm pretty sure you can go back in the archives, and just because you delete a message doesn't mean it's gone forever.
Wait, really?
Yes, there's databases and there's all this other stuff.
I gotta hit the databases then. Oh man.
Anyways.
Yeah, moving on from that. Alright, this day in wrestling. Let's talk about some wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. NXT TakeOver R Evolution. This was in 2014. It was the NXT debut of Kevin Steen turned Kevin Owens. He wrestled a man named CJ Parker. You all know him now as former IWGP United States Champion Juice Robinson. Robinson gets a rematch against Cody at the Dome on my birthday, January 4th, Wrestle Kingdom. But moving on, yeah, this was Owens' debut. I think he, fractured his nose or broke it in this match. I know he did a tope con hilo over the top rope. It was awesome. And this was also the night in which Sami Zayn defeated Adrian Neville, a.k.a. Pac, to become the NXT champion. He was hoisted on people's shoulders. There was a celebration. The underdog from the underground finally reached this pinnacle of NXT, won the championship, and then Kevin Owens would turn into the sick killer that I know and love and dismantle his best friend, and that would lead to Kevin Owens' heel run, probably the best part of 2015. What are your thoughts on NXT TakeOver R Evolution?
Well, I think it's called Revolution. No,
it's called NXT R Evolution. That's what it's called.
I think it's Revolution.
That's what they said. I watched the match back.
You mean like our evolution?
Yeah, like this is our evolution.
Someone needs to check the AP Style Guide. That is not accurate. But anyway, I remember this very vividly. I was shopping for Christmas stuff, and then I come back, and I was like, I have to come back to watch the NXT show. Then I came back, and I made it in time, and then watching it because I didn't really know a whole lot about. I knew who Kevin Steen was, but I never really watched him wrestle. So seeing him come into NXT and deliver basically what we all thought he would. He had a good match, and then he turned heel, and then it kind of just set him up for greatness in NXT. So it was a fun show.
Yes. Alright, also on this day, Rey Mysterio, the master of the 619, he turns 44 years old today. I want to give Ray a nice little birthday shout out.
Happy birthday to Ray. He's doing a lot of good work now in WWE. But, I still hold a little bit of a grudge for making me wait in line at the Cow Palace and then never showing up.
Yeah. Ray, I'm a little hurt by that, man. That wasn't a cool move. No, but happy birthday to Rey Mysterio. Alright, moving on from that, let's get into some fan mail. We have two this week. All right, so Mr. Toledo, he's back. He's
Holy
back.
Toledo.
All right. What is an underrated tag team that has been in WWE? Brandon, you want to
Well, that's a very... See, this is one of the reasons I don't like not getting the questions ahead of time, because I can't think, but then it's just, off the top, an underrated tag team. I mean, if you have one off the top, you can go right ahead, because I need some time for this to fester a little bit.
I haven't read this email yet, so I don't know.
Wow.
Crime time! There we go. Crime time. The gimmick was racist? Yes, I'm not gonna lie. It was blatant racism. But the theme song was cool. Brooklyn, all that other stuff. They had some decent matches with Legacy and Miz and Morrison for the tag titles. Unfortunately, they never captured the tag titles. They helped John Cena destroy JBL's limo. They wrote poopy on it, smashed the windshield with a bat. Crime time. They did have some okay moments, and then of course Shad Gaspar turns heel on JTG, and I didn't realize JTG was with the company up until like 2014. So that's interesting. Apparently, Crime Time is reunited on the indie scene, and they're doing some things. Will we ever see them in WWE again? Honestly, don't know. Maybe for like a one-off, kind of like what Too Cool did in NXT when I think they wrestled the Ascension or something like that, or even the Headbangers when we had the second part of the brand split and they were on Smackdown for a few weeks. So something like that. Brandon, do you have anything now?
So an underrated tag team. Once again, it's kind of hard to go through the archives, just pick one, but some team that I think in its day people loved a lot, but I think now looking back they don't. They forget about what happened. They remember what happened after this tag team. I'm going to go with Team Hell No, a great tag team, great character. They had the great segments, but then I don't think people really remember. They're like, oh, they also had really good matches, and it was the reason basically why the Dana Bryan thing got so hot in 2014. So I'm going to go with Team Hell No. But don't hold me to that if you ask me this in a week or two and I have a week or two to look over it.
Yeah, man. Team Hell No. That's when Glenn Jacobs, mayor of Knox County, he helped get D-Bry over, the Yes movement, all that, Occupy Raw. All that was because Bryan Danielson teamed with Isaac Yankem. Yeah. All right, next up, we have the other fan mail questions from X80 Brand. He gave us a question last week. What is needed to spice up the Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy feud? Oh, man.
Some spiced rum?
Why you gotta go there, man? No, I think I know.
Get it?
I get it. I get it a lot.
Okay.
No, I think I know what's needed. Let's really dig into Jeff's past. They've done it before on WWE television. Of course, he's approved it. So let's pull up some mugshots. He just had a recent DUI, recently, within the last year. Like Joe could pull it up on the Titantron. You're clean, right? You've been clean for years? What is this? The date will be on the mugshot, and Joe can just haul ass verbally on the mic, really just get under Jeff's skin, really just grind his gears, What you got?
To spice up the feud, I mean, I'm more of a straightforward, boots and trunks type of guy. I don't think you need a whole lot to. I mean, they've already opened it up to where it seems they're going to go into that direction, go down the deep dark hole of Jeff Hardy's past, which I'm not exactly a fan of. They've done it before in WWE, TNA. They've done it, one too many times, and I just feel like they shouldn't go down that road again. I don't think people really need to. I mean, there's probably a lot of people out there who don't really know Jeff Hardy because he's been away for so long and don't really understand all the things that have happened to him, and maybe if these things do come to light for these fans, maybe they look at him a different way, and then it cools off Jeff Hardy. So I think just straightforward Samoa Joe being a badass, but then you have it is the one sports entertainment-y storyline that they have going on. So I would much rather them lay off the whole DUI and the drunken, the alcohol history. But what can you do?
I mean, hey, Joe just wants him to drink responsibly. He wants all of us to drink responsibly. There's nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong at all. All right.
Of course, the heels are speaking truths.
Yes. Hey, man, when you're a heel, just like Jericho said, when you're a heel, there has to be some truth to what you're saying so you can be somewhat credible. All right, moving on from that, let's jump into Monday Night Raw recap. Raw was, before we even recap it, man, on a scale of 1 1 to 10. How did you rate Monday night?
My Monday night or Monday Night Raw?
Monday Night Raw.
Oh, Monday Night Raw on a 1 to 10. I'd say maybe like a soft 6. It wasn't like,
Oh.
It was okay. It wasn't great. I'd say a soft 6. So, it's more in the middle than really good. But it was okay. There was some spots that I liked, some spots that I didn't like. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm downgrading it down to a 5.
I didn't know 6s can get soft.
There's like a hard 6, which is like, it's good. It can be really good, but then like a soft 6 is like it's alright. There was more stuff that I liked than I didn't like, but it's more. It's you know what I'm saying.
So,
I got hard and soft and moderate ratings going on. It's like a rate of 30 because there's so many different ways you can go with all the different numbers.
I have a question. So what if you get a hard 6 and a soft 9? Then what happens there? Hello?
What kind of rating would you give Raw, Philip?
Like a 5.5. A 5.78 star. I'm on that Meltzer rating. I'll do like that. There we go. Actually, no, if I'm on a Meltzer rating and I'm rating Raw, I give it 2.75 stars. It was chill. It was fine. But we're about to get into it, so what are we talking about? Alright, General Manager-elect Baron Corbin is called out to the ring while Intercontinental Champion Seth freaking Rollins is cutting a promo about Dean Ambrose. He tells Corbin, Raw has sucked. It has sucked. Your champion, your Universal Champion isn't here. You're running around with McIntyre and Lashley causing ruckus among the place and all that other stuff. And then Rollins challenges General Manager-elect Baron Corbin to a tables, ladders, and chairs match for the Intercontinental title later that night. Thoughts?
So there's a lot to dissect in this segment here.
Dissect it all.
There was some stuff I did like. There was some stuff I didn't like. So let's start off the positives. I liked how Seth Rollins took charge and was clearly the lead guy on Raw on this entire show. But the bad things, I think, might outweigh the positive things, just because he shows up and he says, oh, Raw ratings are in the dump. This show's terrible. And I'm all for like WWE backstage, like looking at themselves like, okay, ratings are down. What do we need to do? But then when you have someone on your, like, how many times have you ever seen a TV show say that they have bad ratings? That's just something you don't really do. And then when he talks to Baron Corbin saying that he's the reason why Drake Maverick is pissing on Bobby Roode's jacket, that makes no sense, because why would he have control of what Drake Maverick's doing? So he was kind of saying that you're the booker of all this, even though in storyline he's not really the booker, he's just a general manager. So when he says, oh, you're going to fire everybody and it's just going to be you, Drew, and Lashley, that's fine. That makes storyline sense of why all that would happen. But then when he goes with the Lucha House Party rules and the Revival, who are supposed to be heels, and then he's siding with the baby faces, we haven't really talked about this because it absolutely makes no sense. But there was a lot of different stuff going on here. I think, on balance, I would say I didn't like this segment just because of all the things that got brought up to light from Seth and the breaking of, I don't know if I'd say kayfabe, but just the story structure of what Raw should be.
Raw, I mean, what they did with this segment, they were having a little peek over the fourth wall just a tiny bit. I didn't know Corbin was on the creative team. I didn't know he was the reason why things were bad. But I understand why Seth said it in the kayfabe terms. Corbin does run the show, while Stephanie's not there. Or if she doesn't give him an assignment to do, he does run the show. So I understand that. But saying he's the reason why Maverick's pissing on Rude's robes, and while the Revival are being mistreated by Lucha House Party, I didn't understand all that. There were some moments of this promo where I did get fired up a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But the TLC match that we're going to talk about later, that the announcement of that, I'm like, oh, what? Corbin in a TLC match against Rollins? Something's going to happen here. Something's going to be interesting. I have to stay tuned. So that's what happened with me. And speaking of Bobby Roode, he and Chad Gable defeat the Authors of Pain to become the new WWE Raw Tag Team Champions. Gable's joined the Triple Crown Club for the tag titles. NXT Tag Champ, Smackdown Tag Champ, Raw Tag Champ. And Bobby Roode added another championship to his illustrious career. What are your thoughts on this?
Once again, good for Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. I mean, you win the tag team championships. I guess that should mean something. But then they beat Drake Maverick on a fluke, it's a roll up, and Drake Maverick has been treated as a joke. And then they go backstage with the interview, and then they're celebrating like they legit beat the real AOP, and it just kind of downgraded them. I thought it made them look like dopes and delusional of what they just accomplished.
I mean, the matching tights, the matching trunks, that was nice. That was a nice touch. But, I mean, you just won the championships and, win by any means necessary. If I beat, I don't know, I'm trying to think. What's that one short dude from Game of Thrones? What's that guy's name?
I don't watch Game of Thrones.
I don't watch Game of Thrones either. He's like I don't want to say midget or dwarf or whatever. He's a smaller person.
But you just did.
But I did. You're right. That's one. I know. Look, if I beat that guy for a championship of sorts, I'd be celebrating also. I won a title, So I understand why they were celebrating. But look,
but they celebrated like they accomplished something.
They did. They're the tag team champions.
But they didn't make it clear that we outsmarted them, and why was Drake Maverick in the match to begin with? I felt like you could have made the babyfaces seem smarter than how they portrayed them. They kind of looked like buffoons a little bit.
Well, I don't know. Well, I mean, hold on. Why do you think they took the titles off of AOP?
They've just, I don't know. They haven't really been booked strong in terms of, being in high-profile matches. Are they still undefeated? No, they're not. They're technically not undefeated, right? They've already lost a match. Not before this match. Yeah,
they've lost already, so they're done.
So yeah, the mystique of being undefeated and being unstoppable is already gone. I think it was just kind of like Asuka. You have them lose, so the undefeated streak's out of the way, and it opens up, the way you can book them a whole bunch of different ways. And I'm not going to pull the panic button just yet on AOP. I was never the highest, believers in them. I always thought if they're doing what they're doing with the Revival, if they're going to book AOP strong just because they're big, so be it. But I'd rather see Revival in the AOP's role as the top heel tag teams. But I assume AOP is still going to be in a top position just because the Raw tag team division is so weak. As I said, I think the Revival is the only other not even top heels, just the other real heel tag team in the division. So they're not going anywhere, but it's just a way to get the storyline moving forward.
Yeah, well, congratulations to Gable and Roode on winning the Raw tag titles. All right, moving on from that, Natalya cuts a promo talking about how Ruby Riott tried to ruin and disgrace her dad's legacy by crushing the sunglasses. And Ruby Riott comes out. I actually enjoyed this segment, I'm not going to lie. I thought it was I thought it was okay. I liked it. Ruby Riott comes out there and talks about how she's going to put Natty through a table. And then the table she unveils has a picture of her father. What are your thoughts on this?
So I was just looking over the script, and I was kind of just going everything in my head on Raw. I'm gonna downgrade my grade to about a 4 now, because looking over everything, I almost didn't like most of the things. I didn't really like this segment either. The promo from Natty, it was good. It was she clearly had emotion behind it because she was talking about her father, and then with Ruby Riott coming out and then having a life-size picture of Jim Neidhart on a table, it just was kind of eerie and kind of weird. The man just died a few months ago, and it almost was kind of, I wouldn't say like a casket, but, just kind of had that same feeling. And WWE, it seems, can they ever have a death happen where they don't exploit it? So I think it just makes me, I guess, happy that they haven't exploited the Roman Reigns situation as much as they have. They haven't outright, talked about leukemia, except for that one time with Dean Ambrose, but we can get into it that they kind of talked about Roman Reigns again on the show. But I think when it comes to things like this, when WWE does this, when they wanted to be put on the Heat to be put on the heels, but I think in the end the Heat just gets put on the company for doing dumb stuff like this.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of enjoy when WWE toes the line a little bit. And first of all, let me go back to the promo with Natty. The sunglasses were not her father's legacy. I'm gonna just cut that out right now. His legacy, he was a big guy. He was quick. The goatee. That's really the legacy there. Like Bret Hart, are the sunglasses a part of his legacy? You can make that argument, but Bret Hart, he was an in-ring general. He was a ring technician. That's his legacy. Like the goatee was the legacy for Jim. I didn't like that line. That didn't sit well with me. But as far as the life-size cutout of Jim the Anvil Neidhart on the table, yes, he did just die a few months ago, but we gotta toe the line a little bit. We gotta give him a little something.
I just think when you watch that segment, I know how I was. I wasn't thinking about, Ruby Riott is this dastardly villain. I was just thinking, like, man, WWE made her do this, and why are they exploiting someone's death so much? Yes, I know. If the family says it's okay, then I guess it's okay. But I don't think just because someone says it's okay doesn't mean you should do it.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Tell Vince no?
I would have been perfectly fine if they did this, as I said to the begin with, if they had this storyline set up to where Natty was wearing the glasses ever since he died or whatever, and they just had that there in the back of your mind, and then all of a sudden Ruby breaks the glasses. That would have meant so much more about the whole feud, and it's just, the whole feud right now was just because of her dead father, and it's not really anything else besides that, and I know she's trying to avenge him and, represent the Neidhart name proud and all that other stuff, but I just think it's lazy booking from WWE to rely on, a dead person to get your stories over.
I can see your point there. I can. Alright, moving on from that, the Scottish Terminator, Drew McIntyre, defeats his former running buddy and former tag team championship partner, Dolph Ziggler, in a really good match on Monday Night Raw. McIntyre avenging the loss he took to Ziggler last week. This match was, I thought it was very well done. What did you think of it?
Did I not call last week that Ziggler will lose to Drew McIntyre?
I mean, that's just WWE. We knew that was going to happen.
I knew that this was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen the next week, which is bad news for Dolph Ziggler. I thought, since they have so little baby faces, and even with Finn Balor going down, and who knows the extent of his injury, if Dolph Ziggler was going to be elevated at all, I thought, okay, you keep him strong a little bit, and then down the line he can lose to Drew McIntyre whenever his super mega push to be in the main event of whatever, to be in the title hunt. But I thought just having him come back and beat Dolph Ziggler clean, I believe in Drew McIntyre. I think he's a great talent. He's going to do big things in the coming years. But I was just thinking about what they did with Dolph and trying to elevate him, and then you just knock him back down the ladder. And even the promo beforehand with the selfie promo wasn't the best promo in the world. So I know the bigger star in the thing is Drew, but I think this bigger story coming out of this is what they did with Dolph, and just once again a stop and start push for Ziggler.
How was Drew the bigger star?
Drew is clearly set to be doing big things in 6 months or whenever WrestleMania time comes around. I'm pretty sure Drew McIntyre will be in a bigger spot than Dolph Ziggler is going to be.
I mean, but I see your point. I see your point. Now you just got to get Drew to look good coming up for TLC this Sunday. All right, so where are we at? All right, Alexa Bliss, she makes her way out to the ring, and did she try to have another forum? Because I'm looking at I can't really remember. Going into the Bayley and Fox match, was there supposed to be another forum, or what was going on there?
I do not believe it was another forum.
No!
Don't question me on this, because I don't watch everything on Raw. I just fast forward through garbage like this.
No, there wasn't supposed to be another 4. My bad. So, Sasha Banks' music hits. Bayley comes out. They play with the wacky, wavy, inflatable tube men, and then Jinder Mahal and Alicia.
I'm not some soundboard where you just throw it to me and I do it.
Come on, man. All right. Well, there we go. All right, yeah. So Bayley defeats Alicia Fox. Apollo Crews came out there, threw Sasha Banks onto Mahal, then the Singh brothers, and Bayley DeBelly's hit. Bayley beats Alicia. It's all a good time.
Good for them. Building up mixed match challenge.
That's what you gotta do.
We all came to see.
Oh, of course, absolutely. All right, Dean Ambrose. He's interviewed backstage by Charlie Caruso. He's cutting a promo, and then they played a really great video package that got me excited for this match at TLC. And then Ambrose is asked about Roman Reigns, and Ambrose is like, "What about him?" Thoughts on this?
The beginning promo I thought was decent from Dean Ambrose. I thought it was just good, basic heel work from him. I thought him not liking to be called a lunatic prince was a nice touch. Maybe they're gonna drop that moniker completely. I thought it was kind of weird and didn't make a whole lot of sense to why Charlie would throw to a video package of everything that Dean Ambrose did, even though Dean Ambrose was there. So I'm pretty sure he knew all the things that he did. So I don't know why she just couldn't answer it, ask the same question about Roman right after the promo he just cut. But maybe they're just there to fill some time and stuff like that. But it's just another seed planted for Roman Reigns and just keeping him in the back of your mind. I don't know exactly what that meant. Maybe it'll mean something in a few weeks or a few months, but who knows?
Yep, just TV production people. Just got to fill some time. Fill some time. I thought the promo was good. I really enjoyed the video package, like I just said. We're moving along in this, man. We're moving along. So, the man of the hour, Lio Rush. He is the manager of Lashley. Lio Rush goes on to defeat a man I walk with, Elias. What are your thoughts on Lil Lio Rush picking up a win over Big Eli?
It is what it is. Elias kind of being not a joke, but he's doing Elias things in this feud he has with Lashley and Rush isn't the best, but it's probably he can't get much higher than this because I don't think Elias is that good, to be honest, when it comes to in the ring. But I don't know if I'd say it's getting tiresome, but it's just kind of the same note every single week. And at least when Elias was a heel, he was trolling the crowd every single week, so that made it fun a little bit. But then now that he's a babyface, he can't exactly do that. So, as I said, when he turned face, it kind of takes away the only redeeming quality that he had, was being an entertaining heel.
Dude, I mean, Elias was supposed to have a lot of redeeming qualities. Apparently, he was supposed to win the Intercontinental Championship this year, but they scrapped that idea. So, but Elias as a heel, I love it. I enjoy it. Elias as a face, is he watered down? Yes, absolutely, but he still gets a little chuckle out of me. Lashley and Elias will all be over at TLC. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Actually, what happened? What's going on with Axel and Dallas? Where are they at?
I don't know. I don't think people are clamoring for the B team at the moment.
Dude,
but
if they give them back,
you might be the first person to ask this question in like months.
If they give them back that badass theme song, I'll be clamoring for the B team every Monday night. Oh god, I shouldn't have said that. Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. I'd like to see Axel and Dallas on television. There we go. Alright, moving on from that. Alexa Bliss, she makes her way to the ring. She's about to speak. Nia Jax comes out there and just cuts off Little Miss Bliss before she can even talk. Jax cuts a promo, and then Ronda Rousey comes out there, and so Jax's partner in crime, Tamina, and Rousey's new partner in crime, Ember Moon, have a match. Moon defeats Tamina, setting up Rousey versus Jax for the women's title at TLC this Sunday in San Jose. Thoughts on all the things I just said? I don't even remember what I talked about.
The Nia Jax promo, I wasn't the biggest fan of. I don't like her gimmick to where she screams into the mic and it, goes to the red levels to where it overmodulates the mic, and it's not a good look. Her heel persona still needs some work. Even she's been a heel she's been a heel twice already, and you think she'd have it nailed down pat, and she still is working out the kinks in that. But that's just what happens when you're a big girl and you can't really create sympathy for yourself because you're so much bigger than all the other women. But
whoa! Why you gotta say it like that,
true.
Man?
It's true. She is a much natural face, but her size is more adapt to being a heel, so it doesn't work.
True. Hold on. I think I had the problem with the promo. Why did she say Samoan like I am a Samoan woman? I'm like, what? The enunciation on that was just it was all over the place.
Once again, I'm not the biggest fan of Nia Jax promos, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this. But then Ronda Rousey didn't really cut a promo either, so maybe they're aware of her shortcomings on the mic, so they're just keeping her in the ring and taking people out. So
yeah, we'll see. All
right.
right.
Still some time.
Yep. Seth freaking Rollins retains the Intercontinental Championship against Baron Corbin in a tables, ladders, and chairs match on Monday Night Raw. Seth goes through a table. Baron goes through a table. There's a curb stomp. Heath Slater comes out there and pushes the ladder, try to stop Seth. He's like, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job. Heath Slater, possible heel turn? I don't know. He gets super kicked. All goes down, and Seth retains the title. Dean, he just walks out there and he's looking at him. Dean, nice little bomber jacket though. It's kind of saucy. Thoughts?
The match was good. It was a really long match. Entrances started a half hour before the 11 o'clock hour, so a good match, I would say. It's kind of the thing I said last week between Finn Balor and Jinder Mahal. It's kind of, someone could have a good match, or someone could have a great match, someone can't have a great match. They just kind of met in the middle and had a good match, and the added twist with Heath Slater was fun, I guess, for a little bit. You thought maybe he would screw Seth over in the end, but he didn't, so just another little seed planted for what's going to happen with Heath Slater. Hopefully, I don't know if they're just going to blow it at TLC to where he turns on him, or Heath Slater turns on Baron Corbin, but I think if you have this storyline going forward with him being a referee for months at a time, you can get a real big pop when he does end up turning. It doesn't look that great on Heath Slater just because he looks like a whipping boy because he's taking everything from Baron Corbin. I know he's got kids, but wrestlers are supposed to be badasses, and he's not exactly acting like a badass at the moment.
Hey, man, he's got kids. He's got to pay the bills, man. Got all those kids in that trailer park home, and you got to feed them. All right, well, Raw, that's the end of you. God damn. Let's hop into Smackdown Live. So, the new Daniel Bryan makes his way out to the ring. New Daniel Bryan side plates on the WWE Championship, I might add. Honestly, I would have preferred if he didn't have side plates at all, because he's above them.
Because they're bad for the environment.
Yes, exactly. So Daniel Bryan comes out there, and he says, he is sorry for calling the people sheep. They don't deserve that. They're more like parasites. It reminded me of when Jericho was heel in 08, calling people parasites and hypocrites. Daniel Bryan, he's made me change my ways, man. I will no longer drink water out of plastic bottles. I will be drinking boxed water from now on. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. So, moving on from that, Mustafa Ali, cruiserweight. He's a cruiserweight on 205 Live. He comes out there. Bryan asks him what he drives. He's like a SUV or something. Bryan assaults him, and then they have a match, and Bryan wins. Thoughts?
The promo from Bryan was good. More of him being a hippie liberal, which might not be the best in certain cities, and just in general.
But that's how you get heat.
Really think
that's how you get heat.
I know he gets heat, but then it's kind of like the Samoa Joe thing. Is technically he's kind of spewing the truth, but this was a lot better than what it was last week. It was less about plastic bottles and all the other environmental stuff. It was more about him just healing on the crowd, and it was much like it's almost kind of the same as what Dean Ambrose is doing, but it's much more I don't know, more intelligent, and it takes a little more thought. It's not just like, oh, you're smelly, I hate you. He goes much more deeper in why he doesn't like the fans, and I thought it was a good promo. Mustafa Ali, I don't watch 205 Live. He impressed me a whole lot on Survivor Series when I saw him live, and it was just kind of more of the same. He was bumping all over the place like a madman, and, you know, I was fearing for his life, just the amazing bumps that he was taking, which just because they look good, hopefully that doesn't mean that they hurt all that much, but they probably a mixture of the two. But I think this kind of shows you that maybe they should just go away with 205 Live. Yes, the wrestlers are kind of smaller than what the other wrestlers are, but wrestling in general on WWE, the wrestlers have gotten smaller, so I don't think that could be too big of an issue, and especially on Raw where the babyface depth is so lacking at the moment. I know you have NXT people you can always call up, but I think if you don't need to bring everybody from 205 Live over. You can bring them over. You can put some in NXT. You can cut some of them. They can do fine on the indie scene, but I think just showing some of these other talents, and it does define down 205 Live by having them lose pretty clean to Dana and Bryan. But overall, I thought it was a good, fun little segment and a good match. Not a whole bunch to complain about.
I mean, Daniel Bryan's the WWE champion. Ali wasn't gonna beat the WWE champion.
No, I know, but then I'm not gonna sit here and say he should have cheated or he should have, Mustafa Ali should have beat Daniel Bryan. But if you're gonna have, I don't know, he just challenged for the Cruiserweight Championship, so obviously Ali is kind of a big deal over at 205 Live. But I just say do away with 205 Live. WWE does not need more.
Wait a
TV,
minute.
And they don't need more TV, but they need more wrestlers on their television. And I think Lucha House Party is on Raw, and we saw what they did with them. I think the use of Mustafa Ali was infinitely better than what they did with Lucha House Party.
Hey, wait, we got an impromptu fan mail. Should I read it?
Why not? We've already gone so long. Why not make it longer?
All right. It's from Hootie Hoo 420. Your boy.
My boy.
Or it could be a woman. I don't want to specify gender.
My person.
My person. My entity. There we go. He says. They say. What if Daniel Bryan replaced the yes kicks with a different word? When he kicks somebody in the chest, he doesn't yell yes. He yells fickle. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. What are your thoughts on that?
As much fun as that would be, then I think the fickle thing is already starting to get over with the crowd, and I think if you use fickle as his new gimmick, it's gonna. I've already said that Daniel Bryan's gonna turn babyface within 6 months just because he's such a good performer. It's gonna be so popular, but I think he needs to lay off the fickle stuff because I think it is getting over. And they even said during the match when he put in the crossface that they were calling it the yes lock, but then they don't know what to call it anymore since Daniel Bryan's not the yes guy. So is he going to go back to the label lock? Is he going to change up a lot of his moves? Is he going to change the moveset? Is he just going to change the names? Is it just going to be they call them kicks and a crossface? Who knows?
Fickle. I just want to yell fickle and drink my boxed water to help the environment.
Well, it would help the environment if you had a reusable bottle like I do, a nice 40-ounce steel bottle from Costco. Maybe Costco is not the best example because there's probably some things wrong with Costco, but I have a steel water bottle. I'm helping out the environment, Daniel.
I hate Costco, so I don't want to get it there. I'll try Target or something. All right, well, moving on from
Costco is a great place. They have fantastic hot dogs, and just go in there for the food court alone is amazing.
I mean, their pizza almost killed me once, but that's a story for a different time.
Chuck E. Cheese pizza's almost killed me multiple times, but yet I still would go back there if I had a child or want to go get some pizza.
Dude, you go to John's Incredible Pizza. You don't go to Chuck E. Cheese. What is this?
I'm a Chuck E. Cheese kid.
All right.
And then go right next door to Toys R Us, R.I.P.
I'm a Chuck E. Cheese kid also. Toys R Us, it's coming back, though. It's coming back. All right, the rap battle between the Usos, the New Day, and Da Bar occurred tonight, and I'm not going to lie, I was not impressed.
The Bar did as good as much as I thought they would. They were trash, as Big E rated them. The Usos were good. I don't know exactly how much is like super memorized, if any of it is off the cuff and actually, they're actually freestyling, but it's a whole, I mean, the Usos part was fun. It might have went on a little bit too long with the Usos part, but the Bar's rap, that went on way too long, and it only was like 90 seconds.
Yes, absolutely. It was not good. We will never have magic in a rap battle again like we did with the Usos and Xavier Woods getting rated R. We'll never have magic like that again. Lightning in a bottle like that will never happen again.
I think it just shows that WWE tries to go to the well and try to, replicate some things that were really good. Just like the This Is Your Life segment with Alexa Bliss. They tried to recreate one of the most famous segments in history, and it fell flat on its face.
This Is Your Life. Yes. Alright, moving on from that, Mike Mizanin and Shane McMahon, they have a promo inside of the ring. Miz says it's his turn to be with the trophy, and then Shane comes out there and is like, what are you doing? And then Miz schedules a match between Shane and some jobbers. It's a tag match. Shane tried to do that float over DDT that looked absolutely terrible tonight, and Shane McMahon and the Miz defeat the jobbers. Thoughts?
Pretty much the same thing they did a few weeks ago after Survivor Series, but best in the world, Shane McMahon was able to defeat the Vegas boys, because he is the best in the world. And I don't know what they're doing with this. I feel like we're supposed to boo The Miz because he's delusional and back Shane, but yet it seems as though The Miz is getting over with this gimmick.
Oh, yes. Yes. The Miz just wants to be the best in the world, Shane McMahon's friend. He wants them to be co-best in the worlds together, co-besties, and take care of that best in the world trophy together. That's what they do. That's what The Miz wants. And I'm all for it, to be honest with you. I love everything about it. I do.
Co-parenting, always nice to have both parents in the relationship.
I'm black, I wouldn't know.
Wow, I didn't go there, you went there.
Wow, I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, Randall Keith Orton, the three most dangerous letters in WWE or in sports entertainment, for that matter, is cutting a promo about Rey Mysterio's going to be in a chairs match with me. Look what I did to him 3 weeks ago. Rips the mask off, chair around the neck, smacks him into the post. Then he assaults him the next week. They don't do anything last week. And Rey Mysterio, on his birthday, has an encounter with Randy Orton, smacks him with the chair, dials it up 619. Oh my god, he dropped the dime on the West Coast Pop. And Randy Orton flees the ring, hyping up this amazing chairs match that we're going to see this Sunday from two legends. What are your thoughts on all of the things I just said?
It's nice to see that someone actually gets over in their hometown and on their birthday. So double whammy for Rey Mysterio. He must be really liked by Vince.
Yeah, that's unprecedented.
To get over on the heel, both on his birthday and in his hometown. So good on Rey for that.
All right. And then the man, Becky Lynch, cuts a backstage promo. What'd you think about it, man?
Straightforward from my girl Becky. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It was a straightforward babyface promo for the most part. I like these backstage promos. It's much more natural than having them go back and forth and having to wait for each other. I like the fire that she brought, no pun intended, but straight up saying she's going to be there, and the doctors might not like it, but she's the man. And when the man comes around, it's going to hit the fan.
Oh my god, of course, absolutely. I love the man. Shout out Becky Lynch. Alright, so Jeff Hardy and Rusev are scheduled to have a match with Samoa Joe and the United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. But before the match starts, Carmella and R-Truth come out and they have a dance break. And they're getting jiggy with it, they're flossing, they're doing all this stuff. It was amazing. I love dance breaks, I really do. But then Jeff Hardy and Rusev go on to defeat Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura. Thoughts on dance breaks and thoughts on this tag team match?
it was there. The dance break thing, it seems like it's going to be a weekly recurrence. I think it'd be fun if they don't do it every single week, if you just kind of hold off on it and do it in random spots. But, they have a good thing and they just run it into the ground.
Absence does make the heart grow fonder. Yep.
And it also kind of made the baby faces look dumb by Jeff Hardy looking at the dance and then he gets clocked in the back of the head.
Yep. Well, moving on from that, Shane McMahon has words with The Miz backstage, like, what's going on? What's the matter with you? Miz tries to shake Shane's hand, and Shane rejects the handshake. How could Shane be so dastardly?
Well, best in the world, Shane McMahon. He doesn't want to stoop low to non-best in the world people, so that's why he didn't shake the hand of The Miz. But originally, we thought maybe Shane McMahon's going to turn heel, and if this leads to a double turn with Shane going heel and The Miz going face, I'm not opposed to it. I think we're ready to cheer the Miz. As weird as that might have sounded a few months ago.
Dude, non-best in the world. Miz has been the best in the world.
He's half best in the world.
No, he's been the WWE champion. He's been the best in the world.
And he's main event. He won a WrestleMania main event
as WWE champion, like Shane.
Exactly.
But Shane.
But he's still not the best. He's still not the best in the world.
Yeah, like Daniel Bryan may have the WWE championship, but Shane McMahon is best in the world because he has the trophy.
Yeah, right. Daniel Bryan's the world champion, but Shane McMahon's the best in the world.
Absolutely, hands down. All right, the phenomenal AJ Styles, a former WWE champion, a man some people may consider best wrestler in the world, has a promo backstage. He says simply, I'm going to get back my WWE Championship this Sunday in San Jose at TLC against the new Daniel Bryan. What are your thoughts on my boy AJ Styles and his promo?
The promo was fine. I'm still wondering what exactly the main event is going to be. We get into it in the predictions, but I was thinking maybe this would have been a perfect time to have this match be the main event, but they didn't have like a hot show closing angle or something to make me believe that this is going to be the main event. But it's going to be a fun match, and I'm excited to see what those two can do.
Absolutely, and it's a regular match too, which is good. That's good. That's what I want.
Which is basically a stipulation on shows like these.
Oh, of course. All right, and then the main event of SmackDown Live, Asuka. She goes on to defeat Charlotte Flair via DQ because Charlotte wanted to use a kendo stick and assault her. But before the DQ happened, what were your thoughts on the WrestleMania rematch?
Good work between both women, back and forth, what you would expect, and then Charlotte getting the DQ. I think it cements that she's supposed to be a heel. And then she attacks Becky Lynch, which I've always said is if you want to turn Charlotte heel, you go after Becky Lynch, and she did that. And, it kind of gets it out the way that Asuka technically gets her win back without Charlotte doing a job. So Asuka gets the victory, but Charlotte doesn't take any damage from it. It moves the storyline forward. Becky, was on fire. She made her come back a little bit and got the crowd hot for that. And then Charlotte does her thing and all that other good fun stuff.
Yes. I thought the match was really well done. Nice spear from Charlotte. Nice work by both women. Then at the end, Asuka stands tall, after the brawl. Asuka's on the announce table standing tall. Could they just foreshadow and have or not foreshadow? Was this foreshadowing? Asuka winning the title?
We can get into it on our TLC predictions.
That's true. Before we talk TLC, we are going to talk Ring of Honor Final Battle. Now, the predictions, we're not going to get into that. Brandon and I will do those privately over text. But Final Battle, what are your thoughts on the show that's going to happen this week? Just real quick.
To be honest, I don't know exactly what is going on Final Battle, but I watched Being the Elite yesterday, and it seems like something might happen because maybe this is like the last time the Elites are going to be in ROH or something might happen. So who knows? There might be big news coming out of Final Battle.
Yes. My boy Cody Rhodes could become free agent yet again with the Ring of Honor World title.
With a busted knee.
With a busted knee. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. It is prediction time. TLC this Sunday. Brandon, myself, and Sean Stewart, the Lunatic Freelancer, will be competing for the tag. I mean, not for the tag, Jesus. For the Bulletcast Championship. So this is gonna be a nice one. Nice little triple threat thing we got going on here. Let's start it off. Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a chairs match. Who do you got?
So, first off, I'm looking at this, and it legit, all the matches from TLC take up an entire page. And I don't understand why there are so many matches on this card. I thought going in this would be fun. Now looking at it, there's a lot of matches on here that I don't really care about. And I hope they load up the pre-show with like 3 matches so I can miss them all. But anyways, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton. Rey Mysterio stood tall. Randy Orton, I'm going to go with Rey Mysterio just because Randy Orton has been beating up Rey so much recently that I think Rey needs to get a win. He's lost, the last few times in these big matches, and Randy Orton's Randy Orton. If he loses another one, who really cares at this point? I think Rey Mysterio needs to be built up, especially with Daniel Bryan being a heel champion. And if I'm foreshadowing my predictions, if Daniel Bryan retains the championship, I think Rey Mysterio getting built up can be a good feud going forward.
Okay, well, I mean, you have to remember, Rey defeated Orton in the Best in the World tournament. So I'm gonna go Randy Orton. Gotta remember that, man.
50-50 booking.
Oh, here we go. Alright, the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro defend the titles against the Usos and the New Day in a just a triple threat tag match. New Day just lost them. They don't need them again. The Usos, is it time for them to become champions again, man?
Well, the Usos used to be announced from San Francisco, California. And I feel like the Bay Area / Silicon Valley crowd still remembers the Usos always get a nice pop and a nice reception when they come to town. So I'm going to go against my better judgment, and I think the Usos will pull out the victory.
Oh, you got the Souls, huh?
Yep.
Honestly,
maybe they come out in their WrestleMania gear from 2015 and they bust out the 49er gear.
Dude, honestly, I've been down since day one-ish. I'm gonna have to go with the Souls also, man. Really looking at it, I think it's them. The Bar, I enjoy them as champions, but I'm not really feeling it at the moment. All right, moving on from that, the Cruiserweight Championship is on the line. Buddy Murphy defends against former Cruiserweight Champion Cedric Alexander. I got Buddy Murphy.
So, just like Final Battle, I'm going in completely blind. So I do not know exactly what is going on. So I could play it safe and go with Buddy Murphy just to tie with you, but I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to go with Cedric Alexander.
Oh.
Just for the points. No reason behind this. I'm just trying to gain an advantage over you.
Hey, man.
It's probably going to throw me for a loop and make me lose the whole thing.
Dude, sometimes going out on a limb is what wins you the championship. You never know, man.
I'm grabbing that brass ring. Shout out Flip Gordon.
You go grab those brass rings. All right, Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. This match has no stipulation at all whatsoever. Oh my... Brandon, you choose first, man.
So, Finn wasn't on the show. There's rumblings that maybe the match will get canceled. Finn, this is one of those matches, it's kind of like Survivor Series to where you have these two people who you don't really... Neither one of them should lose, but Drew McIntyre has just got the victory over Ziggler this week. So I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre, get the win here. Maybe he cheats to win. I think it's either Drew McIntyre cheats to win or Finn Balor gets some help from Dolph Ziggler. I don't think it's going to be a clean win for Finn. So I'm going to go with Drew by shenanigans.
Shenanigans? I've been thinking about what you have been saying, or what you were saying about Drew McIntyre. He's going to be doing big things come WrestleMania. He's going to be hot. I don't know, man. I'll pick Finn Balor. I'll pick Finn. I'll stick with the Irish. Alright, moving on from that. Natalya versus Ruby Riott in a tables match. Natalya.
God, I hope it's Natalya after all the things that they've put her through. But it's WWE. They want to put heat on they want to put heat on Ruby, but I think they're going to go on their better judgment, and I think they will have Natalya win and do it for her dad.
Yep, do it for her daddy. Do it, Natty, do it for your daddy. All right. All right, moving on from that, Elias versus Bobby Lashley. I don't know here.
I think you could go with Elias just because of what happened this week where Rush got the victory over Elias, so you can say 50-50 booking.
I'm going to go Lashley.
You know what? I'll go out of the limb, and I'll go with Elias. Just for the hell of it, maybe Rush tries to get involved one too many times and ends up costing Lashley, and who knows at this point.
Who knows? Alright, Mixed Match Challenge Final, Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox versus R-Truth and Carmella. I'm going R-Truth and Carmella.
Yeah, I think maybe this is going to be another pre-show match just so they can have it on Facebook, have everybody else watch it. And I think R-Truth and Carmella should win. It's fun. They have their little dance break gimmick, and you don't have to be glued to number 30 with either one of these. You can have one of them lose a stipulation match or something, but yeah, it is what it is. It should be fun for what it is, as long as they don't overstay their welcome.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Where are we going now? I got a lot of stuff. Okay, so Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin, General Manager-elect, in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. And if Baron Corbin wins, he is the permanent General Manager of Monday Night Raw. I don't know.
I think Braun Strowman wins as long as he's there. But then that's also the other thing. They do an angle to where Braun Strowman doesn't show up. I don't exactly know all the ins and outs of Braun Strowman's recovery time. I think he can get through a match wearing a brace or some sort of thing on his arm. So I'm going to go with Braun with a quick run-in. He does something and get in and get out. Don't get hurt.
Yeah. I'll go Strowman also. Actually, wait.
Go out on that limb and say Braun will no-show, and Corbin's going to get the victory.
I'm just trying to think. If Corbin's not GM or GM Manager-elect, then what does he do?
Who knows? Maybe he gets back into the running. He's like Hillary.
Oh my God. I'm gonna go Braun. I thought about it. I'm gonna go Braun. All right, moving on from that. The Raw Women's Championship match. Ronda Rousey defends against Nia Jax. I'm gonna go Ronda.
I think Ronda as well. You're gonna keep her strong, keep her undefeated till she gets that big WrestleMania match with whoever it shall be.
Yes, absolutely. All right, and then the WWE Championship is on the line. The new Daniel Bryan defends the World Wrestling Entertainment World title against the phenomenal AJ Styles. D-Bry, all day.
Yeah, I think Daniel Bryan is going to win it. He's such a fresh character. I think you have to keep it on him just to keep him strong. And I don't know what you do with AJ after this. Do you go back and have another rematch? But I mean, you got Royal Rumble coming up, so you don't need a big match to sell on that. So maybe you do another rematch with AJ just so AJ doesn't have to win or have to go in the Royal Rumble. So I'm gonna go with Daniel.
Yep.
Should be a real fun match.
I mean,
this honestly should main event the card just because it's the WWE Championship, but it won't.
I don't know, man.
I hope it doesn't get thrown in the middle. It better be like second to last at least.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. AJ could win the Rumble, jump over to Raw, challenge Brock for the Universal title. It's a possibility.
Anything's possible. That's what Kevin Garnett said.
All right, the Intercontinental Championship is on the line. Seth freaking Rollins defends against former brethren, Dean Ambrose. Dean can't do all this stuff and then just lose. That doesn't sound right. All this stuff can happen and then he just loses and it just waters him down. I got Dean Ambrose, man.
I can see that, but then if the plan is to have Seth go on to face Brock Lesnar. I think you have to keep him strong. You're still trying to rebuild him a little bit from his heel turn and everything that's happened leading up to, well, not the heel turn, but just kind of he was building a lot of momentum, but then he kind of lost it once Roman got his big push against Brock Lesnar. So I think Seth is going to keep it here. I think you can do a screw job somewhere down the line in a couple of weeks or months. But I think right now, I'm going to go with Seth, even though I'm not sold on that.
All right. And now this is a match that I think is going to main event the show. The SmackDown Live Women's Championship, the man, Becky Lynch, defends against the Queen, Charlotte Flair, and the Empress, Asuka, in the first ever triple threat women's tables, ladders, and chairs match. Brandon, who do you got?
So this one's interesting just because of what they could do. You have the Becky Lynch dynamic to where it seems as though they're trying to set up a triple threat at WrestleMania with Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda. Do you do that? I would much rather just be one-on-one. Becky's first match back since suffering the broken face. I don't think Asuka's winning. I think it's between Charlotte and Becky. It depends on who you think, where you think the direction's going. I think if you're going to have this match main event, having Becky Lynch win at the end, standing tall, having the crowd go berserk, or if they even are alive by that point, because this show is probably going to take forever.
I'll be alive.
I'm gonna go with the man.
Same, dude. I'm telling you, Becky. I don't see her losing it yet. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. All right, so let's run this back. Orton versus Mysterio. I have Orton. You have Mysterio. Usos versus The Bar versus New Day. I have Usos. You have Usos. Murphy versus Cedric. I have Murphy. You have Cedric. Finn versus McIntyre. I got Finn. You got Drew. Natty versus Riot. We both have Natty. Lashley versus Elias. I have Lashley. You have Elias. Truth and Carmella versus Mahal and Fox. I have Truth and Carmella. So do you. Braun versus Corbin. TLC. We both have Strowman. Ronda versus Jax. We both have Ronda. D-Bry versus Styles. We both have D-Bry. Seth versus Ambrose. I have Ambrose. You have Seth. And Becky versus Charlotte versus Asuka. We both have the man. Alright, we're wrapping it up here, folks. I know this is probably the longest podcast this regular episode of the Bulletcast has ever done. Superstar Spotlight.
Definitely the longest we've done over the phone.
Yep, who do we got? Superstar Spotlight, who do we got?
I'm going to go with Seth Rollins, just by him being the leader of Raw. And, you know, I know I poo-pooed that opening segment, but I just think it shows that they have belief in Seth, and he's the mainstay on Raw going forward.
Alright, I'm going to give it to Drew McIntyre. Nice match on Raw with Dolph Ziggler. Build him up a little bit before his big match this Sunday against Finn Balor. Alright, man, tell us about... Oh, no, I got the promo pick of the week. Look at that. Alright, so my promo pick of the week, R-Truth explains his heel turn from April 25th of 2011. This is after R-Truth turned heel. This was him going into the WWE title picture with John Cena. He turned on former tag partner, what's his name, John Morrison. It was simple, it was goofy a little bit. He's talking to little Jimmy. Of course, little Jimmy's imaginary. This is when he started saying the truth will set you free. What do you think of the promo?
It's okay. I feel like we were talking about most underrated tag teams. I think R-Truth is one of the most underrated wrestlers or underutilized wrestlers of the last 15 years. I think he's really good both in the ring and on the mic, and it's kind of a shame of what he's kind of been dwindled down to as just this dumb character over the past few years. But the promo itself was fine. I feel like if R-Truth had a more serious character, he could have been a much bigger star.
Hey, man, his run in TNA when he was the NWA champion, honest to God, that was probably his best work. Like, I wish, before R-Truth hangs him up, I wish that version of R-Truth makes its way to WWE TV. Alright, Brandon, tell us about our match pick of the week.
So, tomorrow will mark the 20th anniversary of the Rock Bottom pay-per-view, and the main event of that show was The Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, and they buried a live match, a gimmick that we haven't seen in, I don't even know the last time we've had a buried alive match, but something you never really see in WWE. So, it was fun, crowd's hot for everything, especially when it's with Stone Cold, and just the brawl going all over the place, and then ends up leading up to the grave, and y'all know what happens from there.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Last time we had a Buried Alive match, 2010, Kane versus Taker. The Nexus got involved. I remember that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram, The Bulletcast, YouTube channel, The Bulletcast, Facebook is Bulletcast. We are on iCloud, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play. Email is bulletcast2 is in the number 2 sweet swet at gmail.com. 99.9 FM K-Dub in Watsonville every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. We're also on iHeartRadio. Don't forget, next week, episode 99, we will be back at the studio for that pristine, crisp, performance-enhancing audio. And episode 100 is in 2 weeks, the day after Christmas. That's when it will be recorded, and it'll drop. So I'm excited. You excited for the 100th episode, man?
Yes, I've already filled out my form for the Bulletcast Awards. So my picks have been in, and I have to go around and get the votes from the public, and we will decide who wins the Bulletcast Awards of 2018.
Yes, man, I'm excited. I've gotten a lot of responses back, and it's looking good for some people in these certain categories. All right, well, that's gonna do it for us. I will be in the house for Tables, Ladders, and Chairs this Sunday. My Bulletcast title's on the line Friday, and if I retain it on Friday, it's going to be on the line again Sunday, and then I'm strolling into 2019 with the Bulletcast title, hopefully. Brandon, I may see you this Sunday. I don't know, but if I don't, I'll see you next week when we record, buddy.
Okay. I'm very sorry that I went on such long soliloquies. I'm the reason why this thing is taking so long, and I'm the one who has to still finish a paper that's due at midnight, so that should be a lot of fun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time. Enjoy Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Goodbye.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.